Sarah feel welcome. She's going to give us an update on the Pregnancy Help Center.
Ashamed to say this is the first time I've been here. I don't know why. So thank you, Kirby, for inviting me to come. And I'll say Kirby is actually on our board of directors, and so I'm very thankful that he starts with us. He could have spoken just as easily as I could. And of course, Brenda Droege is our nurse manager. She's here. She could come speak, Brenda. And even Carolyn Hayes is one of our faithful volunteers, and she could speak on my behalf too. But I'm glad to be here to represent Pregnancy Help Center. I've been there for 4 years now. And if you're not familiar with PHC, we've actually been faithfully serving Madison County. Next year will be 30 years. And so we're very blessed and fortunate because it's the community that enables us to do what we do. I mean, that's, I can't stress that enough. Everything that we do is free, from our pregnancy testing to our ultrasounds to our parenting classes. And the only reason we're able to do that is because the community support that supports us, the churches that support us. And so I'll give you a brief update, but usually I kind of like to have more of a dialogue, so I want to allow you all to ask some questions. A lot of you may have heard me speak in churches or at our annual Night for Life event, which we weren't able to have this year. So I don't want to get up here and preach to you, but I'll just kind of give you a quick update, and then you can ask me some questions. First, I want to just come to say too, I kind of come from a unique perspective because before I came to Pregnancy Help Center, I worked for 14 years with Kent Ostrander at the Family Foundation. And if you're familiar with that, it's a public policy organization that champions just strong family values. And so I worked there for 14 years, and my role there, my main role there was to coordinate the Kentucky Candidate Information Survey. So for all of you that have been running for office, you've heard from me numerous times. Back when you were District 54 there in Danville. So, but what I want to say from that is who you vote for matters. It matters. In our pro-life area, we have seen that, of course, be a huge difference in the last gubernatorial election. We had a lot of victories with the last administration, and we're already seeing some of those reversed. So who you vote for matters. Of course, this issue, the pro-life issue, it's not going to be one in our legislative arena. It has to be one in our communities and in our hearts and in our homes and our churches. But still, who you vote for matters, and so we have to push that cause there as well. But Pregnancy Help Center, if you're not familiar with us, we do have a medical clinic staffed by a registered nurse where we do free pregnancy testing and ultrasounds. And that is important because women are up to 90% more likely to choose life if they see an ultrasound image of their child. So that is a very fortunate service that we're able to provide. And then, of course, we meet with them also and discuss their options if abortion is something they're considering. We always encourage them to make a life-affirming decision. Always. We are a life-affirming ministry. We are a ministry. And so that is what we always encourage. And I think you mentioned, the Republican Party being about education. We are about education. We can't make that choice for them. We want to equip them to make a well-informed decision. And guess what? Some of them make decisions that they're not decisions we would want them to make. And we are there for them after that fact too. So as I mentioned, Carolyn, she leads a post-abortive ministry for us as well for women who may have chosen abortion, that we can come alongside of them and walk with them as they go through the healing process. And so that's another unique opportunity that we provide. Our parenting classes are booming. They are pretty much every hour we're open, we are doing parenting classes. Looks a little bit different. We did shut down for about 2 weeks back in March, but we are about life, which means we are an essential service. So we have been plugging along since then. And so some of our classes we're doing on Zoom or phone, depending on the comfort level of our clients. But those are booked every hour of every day that we're open. And so they're able to get things that they need for their kiddos, diapers, wipes, clothing, things like that. And then we're also providing a service for the local courts. So we partner with the court system if they have parents who need a case plan where they've lost custody of their children. So that has been an area where we've seen a lot of growth. And the other program I'm super excited about is our fatherhood program because it's not just the moms that need to learn good parenting techniques. our fathers are in desperate need, because a lot of times there's been that cycle of absentee fathers or whatever. And so we have male mentors that come alongside our men and teach them what it means to be godly role models in their homes. And so those are just kind of some brief services that we have, but we are seeing the Corona baby boom, so our numbers on our medical clinic have been popping a little bit, and like I said, our parenting classes have been going strong. So let me just pause, and I want to take some questions. I have to run off because we have a heated semifinal middle school soccer match for my daughter tonight. So that's what I was joking. I said, I can't believe they didn't make me the keynote. They gave it to Mike instead, but it is what it is. I'll try for next time. And I do have some of these sitting on the table, so you can learn a little bit more about us, ways if you want to get involved and things like that. But I'd love to open it up to any questions that you might have for me.
Well, let me just say that it's very important. I know my wife served on the one in Danville 2 separate times, the boards 2 separate times, and whenever she tells her story about the birth and the conception of technically my stepdaughter, but I consider her my own daughter, I just about cry, because our daughter was, resulted of an unplanned pregnancy, and her father loved her through that, and about cry every time. I can't even go through it. But I think if my wife had not made that decision, I wouldn't have a wonderful, beautiful daughter, but 2, I wouldn't have wonderful grandchildren. And even though technically she's my stepdaughter, I consider her my daughter. I consider those grandchildren the same as my grandchildren. I love them to death. I wouldn't trade them for anything. So it's an important thing. Life is very, very important.
Well, and thank you, because you've been serving, I don't know how many years you've been serving now. I mean, in the
I was
legislature.
13 years in the House,
Okay.
and then 5 years now as auditor. So.
And so, like I said, it's always important, I remember from my time when we could count on those legislators, and Deanna can attest to this as well, but that we can count on legislators for pro-life votes. I can't remember how many years we kept trying the ultrasound bill, time and time again. We finally got it passed through, so that is very important. Any other questions? Yes.
I'm just curious, I know you're here in Madison County, but how wide a range do you service?
Sure, she said, how wide do we service? First of all, we don't turn anybody away. I mean, we've had people come from even Lexington. Typically, I say our service area is Madison County, Geary County, and Rockcastle County. However, we are very fortunate. We are part of the Kentucky Association of Pregnancy Care Centers. And so if there is somebody that comes from another county or they contact us, there's a good chance we can put them in touch with a center that's closer to them if they want. Some of them want to get out of their home county, for privacy reasons. But typically, if we can get them connected to a closer county just for travel purposes, a center that operates according to the same principles that we operate under.
I was going to say this too. I had the opportunity to go to the Night for Life, and I had never been to anything like that. And it was just, I encourage when we're done with all this COVID, you all to go, because to see mothers and fathers stand up there and tell their story, it's amazing. I mean,
yeah, well, and that's one thing I say. We provide some great services. We do. But we kind of operate on the principle, just like Jesus said in John 10:10, I have come that they may have life and have it more abundantly. And so, we don't want to just serve people and give them good things. We want to ultimately lead them to a relationship with Jesus Christ. That's what we want to do. And so we don't hide behind that. And so that's how you change lives. And so, yes, we want to see babies' lives saved from abortion, but we also want to see people's lives saved for eternity. So.
Any other questions? Let's give her a big hand. Give her a big hand. We're going to give her a medium-sized check. So many of you, know we sell, our Trump merchandise to make a little bit of money. And some people ask, what do we do with that money? We support organizations like the Pregnancy Help Center.
oh, I didn't know that was happening.
Can we hold this back up?
Yeah, here we go.
We'll hold up this envelope.